right now, there are people saying hello and
Hello.
hi. So you asked me before I started this thing how my day has been.
Yeah.
Um,
How's your day?
it's been hot. It's been very very hot today. Getting used to the the spring winter that we're having here, but I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I did go to the gym this evening versus going to the gym in the morning,
Okay.
and I kind of had this air of ew. I was like, look at what are all these people? What they're not even really do. She's not doing that right. This lady's walked around this. I've seen her walk make 8 laps, and I don't think she did anything. I was like, this is just time for all like the people who say they want to work out, and then the young people who want to come to 24 hour and socialize. So, uh, but I was able to get on the bike and get
Okay.
me a good hour of cardio in. I was kind of looking at people like Target people, look at Walmart people like,
Oh, you you looking down on the evening workouters, huh?
like, so y'all are the people that break all the stuff, so the morning people don't have workout equipment. Hmm.
Mm.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. You're only gonna walk on the treadmill for that long. Hmm.
Hmm.
At that speed. Hmm.
Hmm.
Hmm. Yeah, I was being judgy. I was being
Yeah.
judgy.
Yeah. You sound real judgy. Look,
Mm,
they were there. They were there. That's a
they get
step.
they made an effort.
That's
They made
it.
it.
Well,
Yeah.
we took advantage of the beautiful day and went to the park. Park has a I'm gonna call it a lake, even though it's like a pond
It's a
or
water feature.
yeah. But
Yeah.
it's pretty.
They got
It's
fish in
pretty.
it. They let you fish in it.
Uh-huh. They let you
Okay.
fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, they let you fish in it.
Okay. Well, then that's good. That ain't no pool.
Yeah, no, it ain't a pool. It's a little
Yeah.
bigger than a pool.
I'm glad
And
everybody gets out.
yeah. Got to see my brother and my
Oh.
sister in love today.
Oh. Okay.
And that was
Okay.
nice. It's been a long week already. Yesterday was full of excitement. Got a new little toy. Well, no, I don't want to call it a toy. I got
Okay.
a new protective mechanism
Okay. Okay.
yesterday. So
You're in Texas, so you got a gun.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Look,
It
everybody.
say pew pew
Pew pew.
pew
Look. Pew
pew.
pew. Look. Hey, look.
Yeah,
You be glad that pew pew with something be funny outside. Look, I guarantee you,
yeah.
it is, and this is weird. I'm a large black man, and I have a gun license. I own a
Okay,
pistol. I do own an AR and a couple shotguns.
okay.
Um, but I find myself not carrying it as much, and I'm kind of in between now because a lot of things are happening. But I'm just kind of like, you know, I don't really. I think I don't have that fear of that situation happening and me not being able to handle myself. Like something about me, the fight or flight mechanism in me is completely gone. Okay, so there's no flight mechanism in me at all. Now I'm not saying I'm running to the problem, but
Yeah.
if the problem is there, oh, I'm gonna give it that work, dog. Like it's there. There's a switch. You used to call it a kill switch in a truck, and I think I'm at this point in my life. And I was. It's funny, and this kind of rolls right into our topic. When I was a younger man, I worked in an auto shop, and this old man, he said, "See, I don't have time to play with you youngsters." He said, "You want to start that shit?" He said, "I'm gonna go to my car." He said, "I'm gonna go in my pocket. I'm gonna put you down. I'm gonna fight you in court." He said, "I ain't
Okay.
got time."
Well,
I
if
was
he
like,
putting you down, there's no court fight per se. Like,
per
yeah,
se, because you're down.
you
You,
down
dead man don't testify.
at
That's
all.
the truth. I ain't never seen a dead man win a case when it
Yeah,
was a defense case. It just
yeah.
doesn't happen in America. So, as a young man, I was like, man, what? But now, as I'm in my life after 40, I'm like, you know what, dog? You come over to my house with that bullshit, like
Well,
you
here's
just
the thing.
pulling the whole AR out.
I'll be honest. Like you said, this rolls into our topic. Guns scare me, to be honest.
Mhm.
I think that, I mean, you have one, I have one for protection, but I don't know. The idea really, I don't know.
Yeah,
Like
say
having
it,
it,
because we're gonna have this
having it,
conversation.
like carrying it with me. everywhere I go, I'm just not about that life because, and maybe I should be, I don't know, but I just feel like if I need to carry it everywhere I go, I might not need to go nowhere.
Eh, Look, as my father said, if you got to have a gun to go there, you don't need to be there.
Yeah,
And it's kind of scary because in these days, you're like, people are like, well, you don't know where it's gonna happen at. Like you don't. But I
you
think
don't.
if you're very observant, you kind of see people acting a little like,
Suspect.
you look a little suspect. And then, get clear of the situation. You hate to be, and I'm not faulting anyone that's ever been in a mass shooting.
Right. No.
That's unfortunate, and that's not what guns are for. But they are for self-defense. And it does, like I said, like I'm going to the store. I don't want to have to, but there's plenty of people here in Texas, boy. I'm going to
Listen, no. And see, you know me, I'm so clumsy. I can see me shooting myself
oh, don't
on
Barney fight yourself.
accident. So I'm just like,
My foot.
oh shit, damn. I shot myself in the kneecap. Like
You go on the news.
what can you
Lady after
explain what happened?
lady
What
after
had
40.
happened was
My gun. I would don't be the stupid people on the news. Well, I was trying to clean it and I shot myself. How in the hell are you
no.
cleaning a gun and you take the bullets out before you begin cleaning the gun?
They forget they got that one in the chamber.
Dog, look, I'm telling you, look, that's the responsibility of having a gun.
I
and
understand.
and I've made that mistake sometimes. Not that
Well, you didn't
I
shoot
didn't.
yourself in the face.
No, 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 no,
Okay.
no. I made the mistake of dropping the clip and you know clearing it, but then one pops out and I was like, oh shit, yeah, I did have one in the chamber. Because a
Yeah.
lot of times, like at the crib where it's sitting right now, there isn't one in the chamber.
Okay.
And I've had a very scary moment with my own personal handgun and a woman I was dating. Um, it was
Okay.
I was never in fear of being around anybody with a gun. I was never in fear of having a gun around her because she just was not going to touch it. There was just something she wasn't going to do. And so I'm on the patio, and I left my gun sitting on the what is that thing called in the living room? The little table in the middle of the living room.
The ottoman or
Something, one of them things.
okay.
Night table, kitchen table,
Living
living room
room
table, that thing.
Okay.
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
And so I'm on the patio, and I hear. I'm like,
it wasn't Ghost.
No, it wasn't Ghost. Ghost wasn't there with us at her apartment.
Oh, okay.
And I hear this, babe, come here, and I was like, oh shit. I wasn't fearful for myself. I was fearful that she might hurt herself with the gun.
Okay.
Because sometimes she was, people go through things. And so I come in and she's literally holding it like this, like, and is pointing away from her. She's like, take this out of my hands. And I'm like, okay. So I take it out of her hands, drop the clip, clear it a couple times, separate everything, clip away from the gun at this point. And we had a discussion about
gun safe.
Well, that's true. Let's not talk about the other chick that I dated that went over my friend's house and he had his gun on the thing. And she's like, oh, look, is this real? And we were like, oh! And I was like,
how old are these people?
Oh, she was 42. It was even worse because it was two black dudes. She was in a black dude's apartment with another black dude. She was a white girl. And if she shot herself in the face, we were going to go to jail.
Under the jail.
And they was like, wait, our fingerprints ain't even on the gun. Her dumb ass was like, is it? But she had no sense of gun safety. And people just, they get a gun and they don't have these discussions about a gun. Yeah. And it is important, people, I'm gonna go buy me a gun. And next thing you know, if you ain't ever shot that mug and you shoot it, you dropped it all out your hand and stuff like the idiots. So
well, I'm going to go practice it. That way I can get a feel for it. But like I said, I don't like being at gun ranges because being around a whole lot of, as I see, gun crazy folks in close proximity, I mean, it makes me a little nervous, but I'll go to, and I'm a decent shot too.
Yeah.
I do all right. If I
Yeah,
start shooting, you gonna run. You gonna feel the wind at least. You
yeah.
gonna feel, oh
You go,
shit.
oh shit.
Yeah. She ain't playing with me.
You say,
But
you gotta
yeah,
matrix your way out this thing.
yeah. But guns in general do scare me. I'm not a gun enthusiast per se. Or I mean some people, like you said, some people are.
Yeah.
And but I understand the necessity
Mm-hmm.
and so I have one, but I don't know. You may or you may not catch me outside with it. So approach at
Look,
your own will.
I'm about to say, look, I'm concealed to carry because I need you to
Hey,
take a guess.
I got my license too. So that's why I
Yeah.
say approach if you want.
Approach if you want.
Yeah.
Look, I got 2 big dogs and a big black man, and
Yeah.
there might be something under the shirt that you might want to deal with.
Yeah.
It's got the proper
Yeah.
bullets in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you take your pick. Which one
Take your
people
pick.
people
Yeah.
like, oh, those dogs must make you feel really safe. It's like, no, I make the dogs feel safe. Trust me. Trust me. They know even if a dog run up on us, I'm
God, dog.
pew, pew.
Damn
Look,
shame what happened to that dog.
damn shame what happened to that dog. Look, I'm gonna give you a piece of advice that someone gave me before I purchased my first gun, and it was actually a very real piece of advice. Beyond things of what my father told me about, if you pull a gun out,
Oh yeah, if you pull it out,
you might as well kill somebody. It's at that point.
it.
That's what it is for.
That's
It
what
ain't
it's
out for
for.
show. So make that decision wisely. But this man told me, he goes, if you don't think that you can kill somebody, don't buy a gun. He goes,
No.
because at the point at when you have to make that decision, you need to know that you will. Because if you have to decide, the other person might have that killer instinct and you lost. And so, you
Well,
think
look.
about the situation. It's in the house. Okay, I've got a gun. I'm coming to get you.
Well,
Like,
see, here's the thing: a gun in the house is different. This is now veering kind of off topic, but a gun in the house to me, a gun in the house to me is a little different than walking, like you said, through Kroger with it on. In I'm prepared to protect myself, my children, my family in the house. Because if you coming in here, like you really, really mean me no harm. So I'm not here to talk with you. But I mean, you really mean me harm. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But like I said, I don't know. Being just out, like I said, if I feel that unsafe where I'm going, I'm not going.
Yeah, I agree.
Look that big old dog. Okay, let me.
He was like, "Oh crap, the camera's on."
No, and this is on topic too. Other things that scare me besides gun, them 2 big ass dogs you got.
Look,
listen,
okay, go ahead. Tell the story.
I finally get up to visit Omi, I'm sorry, Omi D. And I knew he had dogs, and I guess I kind of seen them like that, but I ain't really paid no real mind to them until I walked through the door. And when you walk through your condo, the stairs, so they cut that curve and they coming down, and I mean it's two Mustang horses coming down them stairs at me, and I just froze. I said, "Oh shit!" I'm not, Ollie, take me away.
I'm sorry.
Ollie, what are you doing?
This is the best show ever. This is all about life after 40. So Sterling was like, "Oops, my bad." Ollie was like, "So what are we doing?" He said,
"Oh my god."
Oh god. So I was unaware, and I didn't think about it because you had B and Mally, and so
I've been around dogs my whole life, but the biggest dog I've ever been around is consistently like that is a lab. She old, she don't do nothing. Like I don't think I may have heard this dog bark once, but to them 2, man, I said, "Oh Lord," I said, hold on. I get right now I'm going through this phase where these fears are present on me that I didn't necessarily know I had,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm trying to conquer them. And that honestly was one to actually sit down because I mean they
Watch
may
him.
look
See,
at
look
look
at
at this
him.
dude,
This
look
nigga.
at that dude,
He looking out the window.
look that dude. Can you please get off my grass? Look at him. Dog, that dude is big. Look at this other one. Look at him. Dog. So then I'm sitting on the couch and he comes sit right here by we just looking eye to eye. I'm like, dog, man, you too big. Going on. Going on. No, them some big dogs. I
Oh
was like,
man.
I wasn't prepared for that. I really wasn't prepared for that. It
You
took me
know,
a minute, but I got used to them.
you did. You warmed up, and I'm honestly like, they're like your kids. People are like, oh, your kids are so well behaved. I know you be like, who kids? My kids, because like my mama said the same thing, but like people like your dogs are so well behaved. I'm like, man, these niggas, no.
No,
But
they would die because I'm telling you, if they were not well behaved and they were like untrained and jumping all, that'd be both. Either one of them stand up on me.
mm-hmm.
I mean, they can both easily overpower me.
Oh
They
yeah.
shit while we playing, they overpower you. Let's not be tripping.
Say, look,
Those are
trust
some
me,
big
nigga.
ass dogs.
So so look, I'm gonna tell you this. There's one thing I realized once Ghost got big, and I was like, shit, like there has to be a point where there's fear with them that like if you're gonna try this in their mind, then this is it. Like he is alpha 100%. Oh, I'll tell you like this right now. Oh, they mess up. Oh, they catch hands. Like it's a whole wolf pack up in here. Like
See,
you mess up bad enough, you will catch you jump it. You jump the wrong time. Sterling caught him in the ribs.
see,
Told him get out.
that's just like the gun. I'm not having no dog that I gotta be that's bigger than me like that. If my animal decide to go animal, I need to be
Mm-hmm.
able. I don't want to have to shoot my dog. I don't want
Yeah.
to be scared of my dog and have to get the gun I'm scared of, shoot my dog. I don't want to have to do all that. So
Yeah.
no.
And
But
I think with anybody with their dog, you know your dog. Just
yeah,
like the other day,
definitely.
this little boy come running up, doggy. I don't care. Look, I don't care what kind of AD, ED, LD, PD, QL. Look, don't be running up on my dogs talking about because look, they
You
protect
can't
me.
be
I can't be
and they
responsible.
big.
And they big, dog. Sterling's 130 pounds, Ghost 85. If both of them decide to go on, like, dog, I'm only 220 myself. They technically, since I've lost weight, they outweigh a brother.
Yeah. No, they no,
But I'm in the
and
gym.
the power behind them. No, they're big
Yeah,
dogs, but they are good. They're good dogs though.
yeah.
They are good.
So
But
so the, and I wasn't aware, and I was sorry. You did handle it very gracefully with your fear. And this is a really powerful show because last year, and as I thought about this topic, if we would have done this show this time last year, I probably would have had way more stuff to say.
okay,
But I do. But last year, my whole time was based on conquering fears because realizing how important fear is to preventing you from doing whatever you want, succeeding, making that jump to go to a college class or
mm-hmm.
something like that. And I wanted to figure out what fear had cost me in my life, and I wanted to start handling those fears.
Okay,
And I started learning about like why relationships don't work, and it's fear. Sometimes it's fear of communicating things that you don't necessarily want to communicate.
it's
Their
fear of
relationship
being vulnerable.
yeah. And then sometimes that vulnerability might not take the
Be
relationship in the direction that you want it to go.
it may not
And
be reciprocated.
yeah, it might end. Like, there are people who have sexual things they like that they never communicate with their partner, and then they find out about it, and then they're like, I don't know if I really want to do that. Like, I'm not with riding outside in no clothes in the wintertime. Like, that's just not my thing. And I think not discussing those fears up front eventually will drive a wedge in the relationship, because if it's something that you really like if you really love country music and I really hate country music, and you start to like country music less just because you want to be around me, that's a fear of yours that you're tamping down for this relationship that's eventually going to cause a problem. And so I spent so much time just die. It just 12 months of fear. Every mistake I'd make was like, I'm like, man, what was I afraid of? Every time I said something that I didn't want to say, I had to think, what was I afraid of from saying that kept me from saying what I really wanted to say? Excuse me. I learned so much from it. Like it's a deep dive in life to discuss your fears. But I think I still got some good discussion for them.
Well, the last 3 years or so have completely taken my fears, put them in a blender,
Yeah.
poured them up, and then I took a shot of that shit and said, YOLO, let's go.
YOLO.
Yeah, YOLO, let's go.
Yeah.
So but yeah, that's a good fear has I think fear has hindered me in some things. There's some I don't know that fear has hindered me in a lot of big life changing moments. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think. I think my time may have passed for fears like I'm adventurous. I like to try new things all the time. So I had an idea to like skydive.
Yeah.
Well, now I got two little responsibilities. So that window of time may have passed for me to do something like that. So my fears basically drive on. I told you I discussed my biggest fear on a previous show, which is, that morbidity of me dying before the kids know and
Mm-hmm.
embedded that I love them. So that's a fear. I have fears like that, like really losing my mind, like for real, like going losing it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fear of mine, and not
Yeah.
like losing it and not knowing that it's running away and it's gone. That's a fear.
It's interesting. Like I worked in a senior citizens home with people who had dementia and would go in and out of different states.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that taught me something. Um, it taught me to value moments,
Mm-hmm.
because even if you take a picture, there were people who looked dead at their wife and was like, who's
They
this
don't know who
pretty
that
lady?
is.
And
Mm-hmm.
looking at pictures and stuff. And then eventually, they might snap back to what you were used to. But even then, like none of that mattered. So it became a lesson of me of like really living in the moment,
Yeah.
really enjoying it. And that's a thing that we lose a lot, because of fear. Because
Mm-hmm.
fear makes us change direction to plan for something later on. It's like, ooh, I really want to buy this hamburger, but I'm afraid I'm gonna be broke before payday, which is a very simple example.
Yeah.
But if you got $100 and payday is tomorrow and the hamburger is 99 cents from McDonald's, that's a silly fear.
Yeah.
you know if and the thing is, it's something that I actually corrected while we were in college. I was an extremely shy person before I got to Xavier. um
Okay.
everybody looks surprised when they say that, because
Well, I look. I don't know why, because I will. Okay, go ahead.
because when I meet someone in a friend state, like how we all hung out in high school,
That's different.
yeah, like I might have found some of y'all to be attractive, some of y'all to be very pretty ladies in high school, but I wasn't going out and trying to talk to any of y'all. I mean, I dealt with
So
one.
you were only shy around women, around
No,
not
I was
everybody.
shy around everybody. Like
Everybody. Okay.
if I was to go into a room with just a bunch of people I didn't know, I would
Yeah.
literally have to gas myself up to go say hello to people. Like I just
Oh,
wouldn't do it.
okay. Well, you know what? I take that back. Then yeah, fear. Okay, I recant everything I just said. Fear has hindered me from important events. Yeah.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
And so when I got to Xavier, I realized, looking at all these pretty ladies, and there were pretty ladies at high school, but these are women. Women in here in college,
They
ladies and
from
gentlemen.
all over.
Yeah, from all over Georgia. I mean, if it's women from all different area codes, as Ludacris
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
Women's, smart
Women's
women's is beautiful
smart,
women's is, yeah,
smart women. Yeah.
and some ugly women's is, some women's is that I wasn't attracted to. Um, I realized that if I was going to continue being shy, that I was
Mm-hmm.
not going to get to date any of these beautiful women. It to be put into a situation where one of these beautiful women introduces themselves to you just doesn't happen. It wasn't like high school. It wasn't like, oh, that's my homie. Da, 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 da. Like it was first year here, and I had to get in the mix. So I convinced myself, this is a very useful skill, that any party we went to, any club, any bar, I would find the best looking woman in the place and go up and talk to her after my first drink immediately. Just hello, having a good time tonight, you know. And they'd be like, "Are you the owner?" I was like, "No, I'm just coming up, just chit chatting, talking it up." I say, "You're the prettiest person in the room," so I always like to come over and talk to the prettiest person in the room when I'm there. And like that forced me to get out of that shyness. It also got me a whole lot of pretty women. So,
Okay.
you know,
It's a win-win.
oh dog, it was look, I would tell you about a time that fear and me beating that fear actually got me a model, like European model girlfriend.
Okay.
And so I'm at this party in my mid 20s. My heyday, we had a lot of fun, big money. And we're all, hanging out, and then we all come sit in, and it's this big living room, huge sectional. And so everybody's trying to talk to Portia. I mean, I didn't know who she was. I'm just there with the homies, having the free drinks, enjoying the festivities. And so I'm just sitting there laughing while, to myself, watching everybody talk and try to impress whoever this really pretty black woman is with long hair and everything. And I'm like, dang, she is fine. No, I sure will, but I ain't spitting at her because everybody's spitting at her. So eventually, everybody went outside to do other stuff. Well, I was playing on my phone. I wasn't paying attention. So she was still sitting there. So I'm sitting there. She's sitting there. She goes in her purse and she pulls out this bag of Toll House cookies. And look, the fat kid in me said, "Excuse me, are those Toll House chocolate chip cookies from the Galleria Mall?" And she looks and she smiles. She goes, "Yes, they are." She goes, "Would you like one?" I said, "Yes, I would." She said, "Well, come on over." And sat next to her, and like we had cookies and laughed. And from the rest of that point, all night long, she was glued to my hip, and we had like a nice little relationship until she had to go back and do her model thing. But people were like, "Dang, how'd you pull her?" I was like, "Chocolate chip cookies." But I was afraid. I really was. I was, even
Yeah.
when I saw the cookies, I'm thinking to myself, like, if I ask her if these are the cookies, she's gonna be like, "Hell no, fat boy, you can't have no cookies." Like, but I went through it, and
Yeah.
it turned out very well. And it seems like a lot of times when we push past that fear,
Oh yeah, it's great things.
what we were afraid of very rarely happens.
That's true.
You know.
I can say that that's true. I'm very. I describe myself as shy, and my fear, like speaking in public, even this podcast, speaking on the line,
Hmm.
live on the line.
Yeah, in
This
front of the
is a
peoples.
big fear. I mean, yeah, no. So, but like public speaking, I remember, but I've always, I guess, pushed that fear. And I used to skate, I played basketball, I ran track. So, but that fear has never left me. And every time
Mm,
I have to speak in public, this not so much anymore because I don't really get to. I don't really see the other side. You see all of that. I just see your face.
yeah.
So and talking to the kids to my left. But but every time I would have to speak in public, I remember in school having to give presentations. I mean, sweaty palms, all of that. But I guess the more you do it, the more the more the more your kids acting up. The more you do
Hmm.
it,
Look,
the more you push past that fear. But I don't know. Public speaking is a big fear of mine. But I mean, I think we all have fears, and look, life as a whole is a fear. Because our show, what was the topic of our show is what scares us, what
hmm.
thrills us, what dares us, what gives us goosebumps, right?
Oof, yeah.
So, fear to me, fear is something I think that's present in us that it can overcome us and keep
Hmm.
us from doing things that we need to if we let it. But I think there is a healthy dose of fear that kind of keeps us in check, keeps us humble, keeps us from killing ourselves.
Yes.
You
Oh yeah.
know, yeah.
Yeah.
But so we've discussed what. So we talked about what scares us, what fears us, what dares you.
You know, pretty women.
Okay. Okay.
Pretty women. Like that is the biggest dare because I'm still the fear is rejection. And I get rejected all the time. Happens all
Okay.
the time. Not just by women, but just in
In
life.
life.
You don't get stuff you want. People tell you no. Like and it's not even so much as I'm fearing rejection. I just don't want to go make the effort and get rejected. Like I'm tired of this. This make this like I'm tired of making an effort and getting rejected. Like I just want to make one last phone call and
And
that be
then
the one. Like I
hello.
don't hello. Hello.
Okay.
I'm tired of wrong number. Shit. I'm
Okay.
close to the Z's in the phone book. I should be getting finally finally to the last phone call, I hope. And so, you know, but the thing that I learned is like the prettier the woman, the easier it is for me to talk to her. Because
Well,
pretty
that's
women,
pretty women.
right?
Don't, pretty women don't necessarily bite, or
No,
not every day.
no, but a lot of times pretty women don't get talked to
Mm-hmm.
because guys are too afraid to come talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
Women who look like they're high maintenance, guys don't go talk to them. And the guys that do approach them, it's always on some bullshit. So I always, and this is just me normally, I just like to talk to people. Hey, how you doing? So you drinking coffee? What are you drinking? I don't really come to Starbucks that often. So I just try to make conversation, and it usually works with them. And they're like, "Well, you're not going to ask for my phone number." I was like, "Yeah, that was the purpose of me coming over here, but I couldn't just come over and hit on you and say, 'Nice legs, sweet ass.'" Like
No, no, don't say that ever.
that's not the yeah. I've never tried that one. My
I'm
sister would be
I'm
very
gonna
offended.
highly advise that you don't use that.
And say, "You've heard it first, ladies and
Yeah,
gentlemen,
don't
guys out there,
don't
don't try
start with
that."
that. You say at some point that can be you can say that, but don't start with that.
Yeah, don't lead off with that. Maybe like month 8. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Well, what
What about
dares
you?
me? I see. What dares me is one of the things I'm talking to right now. Is my children. My
Hmm.
children dare. They challenge me every single second. When you can talk like this without. Anyway, I said sit down right. No, the kids. The kids they challenge me in they challenge me mentally, physically, spiritually. But it's a good thing though, because
Yeah.
with those kind of challenges come growth, come
Hmm.
an evolution. But the kids definitely challenge, and they no, oh see, and they have they've expanded me and they've opened me in ways that I think in ways that I could not have anticipated until I was in it, and I ain't even in the thick of it. So everybody pray for me. But thus far, I'm 6 years in, and thus far, being a mom in this season has challenged me the most. But it's been my greatest challenge too. So I'm very thankful for that. And then I think in general, life is just challenging. Every day it's a series of choices and challenges and fires that you have to put out, and you have to redirect, and you have to call audibles and switch it
Yeah.
up, and and
Omaha.
and and I think how we maneuver through that and how we handle those challenges says a lot about who we are, our growth, and yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I judge women on how they handle challenges of life. Like the ones that like cry and whine and don't do shit about it and just like, yeah, it'll never work. Like I like a woman who handles the challenges of life. They're not gonna stop. Life does well, it does
Well,
stop, but the challenges don't stop. Long as you
can't stop,
breathing,
won't stop.
yeah, they keep coming in and you gotta handle them, because Who wants to be on this journey of life with someone that every time something happens, you fold like a lawn chair? I'm out there by myself.
Stop right now.
Say it like that.
Well, 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 yeah. And the thing about it, like you said, with challenges, I think at some point we have to, and like they keep coming, and God forbid, you hear about some people's life, and it seems like it's just challenge after challenge after challenge, and it's like you never get any breather room. But when you see, or when I see people like that, I'm just like, my goodness, the strength that they have, and it's not a thing to say. I love seeing people honest too, though.
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned crying. I'm a crier,
Yes.
and I just told somebody this, that people who are not criers assume that criers only cry when we sad.
No.
Criers cry for everything.
Yep.
Like, and for me, it's a way to just it purges me, because
Mm-hmm.
once I've cried and then I've purged, now I have room and the energy to think and move forward. But I'm not one to I mean, yeah, I might cry, but I'm gonna get through it. I'm gonna get through it.
You are,
So
dog. Look. We in Mardi Gras season, and this is this is the best crying story I have of you in the
but
apartment.
this crying story has nothing to do with evolving nor growth nor any of this. It just was okay. But go
But
on,
you
tell
was
the
a G.
story.
You got through it.
I mean, I
So
did, but
so we
okay,
that
go
might
ahead.
have been the most epic drinking night in the history of my life with people, and I've had some epic like
Let me
hangover drinking nights.
let me just say this before you tell this story. I was not a drinker. I don't proclaim myself to be a drinker. I wasn't really a drinker before this. I'm not really a drinker after this. The story that he's going to tell is maybe one of only three, maybe four times that I've ever been drunk. It ain't my thing.
Look, it's not, and even Buddy D-Ron, which it was his thing, and he even tapped out that night. So it was some real drinking going on that night, Mardi Gras week in New Orleans, and I'll never forget this. We were next door. We were at the Jennifer's house, and everybody was hammered. I don't know what time it was, but you were gone. So we got you. We had to get you back. Deron had already came in and fell on the floor and went to sleep in the living room. And so I think it was me. We got me and some more people. We got you in the room, and we got you in the bed, and you were thirsty. You were like, "I'm so thirsty." We was like, "Okay, we're gonna get you
I
some
was
water."
so thirsty.
And we bring you the glass of water. You say, you start crying. We're like, "What's wrong?" You're like, "I can't drink this. I need a straw." And so I don't know. You used to always have a cup with a straw in it
Uh-huh.
that you would always drink out of. So I went there and I got the straw, and you put your lips on that straw. You sucked up that water. It got like this far from the edge of the straw three times. You just let it go. And you were like, "I can't do it." And you started bawling and crying the hardest
Yeah.
I ever seen you cry in your life. Dog, I was so concerned. I was like, I don't know what to do, because I was like, I don't know how to make it. It was right there.
Yeah,
But
yeah, you got to do it. She
you
said,
got to
I
do it.
can't drink this water for you.
You got to do it. Come on. Like we was all in, probably like 8 people in the room. We was cheering you on. Drink, drink, drink. We just did that next door. It got us all in trouble drinking. But that was, and I will say that I saw you cry a lot of times for good stuff, for
Yeah,
for
I mean,
everything.
yeah,
You're a crier, and that's the truth.
I'm
And
a
I'm not a
crier.
crier, and that's something that I had to learn from you. And a fear like of mine is seeing people cry and stuff, and it's like,
And I get that. So I'll tell people, I'm like, these are happy tears, or just give me a minute. Now I'm not one, I try not. Like you is different. So people who of course live with me are in my space, it's a lot harder for me to hide my crying. So
mm-hmm,
if you catch me out in public, is you probably not gonna just see me crying like that.
yeah.
But in general, I am because it's like it gets so, it gets built up, and then I have to just release it.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, whoo, let's
Good
go.
to go. Let's go.
Let's go.
Ready to go. Now, I admire that about people that are able to like release that way. I I got in a very bad habit of what I call like the there 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 moment. You know,
Oh,
like when people are crying, because it's like at a certain point it just gets to the point where you're just like,
no, I don't need all that. I don't really need
yeah.
it there. I just give me a second. Like I was riding down the street. I was riding and this song hit me. And I mean, I started crying, and my uncle's driving, and he looks over,
Poor
face just wet. He said, "What's wrong? What's wrong with you? I thought we've been having a good day. What, did I miss something?" And I said, "This song is just so beautiful. It's just so inspiring." He was like, "Oh man."
Woo!
I said, I don't need. I said, "Hey man, mind the road. Give me a minute. I'm gonna be good."
I have to agree with Unc. I'd have been like, oh, whoa, hold on. Well,
Nah, listen.
put it
Look,
apart.
I'm a Cancer. We feel hard. I was just talking to my sister-in-law about this. We feel real deep. We feel everything. I'm about to feel my hands on her behind in just a minute. That's what I'm
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
When I'm done. Okay.
I'm nosy.
I do too.
Um,
So
and
yeah.
see the
So
Cancer. See, I'm an Aries.
y'all don't know. Y'all yeah. No. Y'all are, which is what y'all are the opposite of emotional, of crying. Y'all are the complete. I don't know one Aries that I've seen cry more than 2 times, and those 2 times have been from like they were shot in the face or
Yeah,
like devastating stuff.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But no. Okay, so that dares you. Okay, let's move on. What gives you goosebumps?
That was a
If you
hard one.
if you say something about women again, I'm gonna need some more depth. I'm gonna need
Um,
something else because I sense a trend.
you say Goosebumps. So that's a tough one
That is a tough one.
because Goosebumps don't really happen that often. It's got to be something that's just like,
It's
ooh,
big.
like
Yeah.
that was the one. Like a big lightning
No.
strike and clap, a close lightning strike and clap gives me goosebumps.
Okay.
Um, Tornadoes in the general
Okay.
area give me goosebumps.
Okay.
I'm not really afraid of tornadoes as most people are.
Okay.
I've been in a few of them, and like I said, it's a tornado. It is or it ain't. Like you either make it or you did. So if not, you just get to hold on for the ride, and hopefully you don't die. So, but like I can't. I think
J Lo calls them the goosies on what's the American American Dance or whatever that dance show. She always says she gets the goosies from dancing, but goosies is not something that I get very often. When I have gotten them I had to really think about it. In recent time, the only things that two things that have given me goosies was one. Again, I have babies, so I remember doing skin to skin with my daughter once, and she was sick, um, and I believe in it. So we would do skin to skin, and I just hold her to try to help balance her energy, with her energy, that kind of thing. And that the pulsating of our energy and me hugging her gave me goosies,
mhm.
and it made me. It was a very spiritual moment that I wasn't expecting, and that happened about maybe a year and a half ago. And then, like when I have these somewhat clear um, visions of the future, not like a psychic type thing, just
Mhm.
like just like a just no, just like a thought, or in my meditation and talk with God or whatever, just the idea of the future and what it has to bring and the blessing that it's wrapped in,
Mhm.
that gives me goosebumps. But just day to day, oh, that one's kind of a tough one.
And I think a thing that gives me goosebumps, I've come across two very spiritual women. Were in our age range, not older women, um, that were very, I guess, powerful or good at what they do.
Mm-hmm.
And it always amazes me when people are able to start reading me without knowing me and tell me things that I don't really speak. Because you know me, I'm a wall. Like what you see is not what you get. Like there's a whole reason that this is here. You got to get past this, and you're like, oh shit, there's a gold ticket in this Wonka bar. So, but some of these people have been able to call out certain things, and those will give me goosebumps. So I think, yeah, on an energy and spiritual level, stuff like that will. But other than that, like nothing I'm afraid of.
Okay. All right. What thrills you?
That was a hard one.
What that was the easiest one for me.
Well, you start first.
Okay. Like I said, being adventurous. So anything new that I'm gonna try or I'm getting ready to try thrills me. I'm excited about it. I'm ready to go. You know, I told you I was going to do one of my most so far one of my most favorite things to do, which is snowmobiling. That thrills
Yes,
me. So
that's
I
fun.
mean that covers all. Actually, that scares me. It dares me. It gives me goosebumps, and it thrills me. That's one of my most favorite things I've ever done before. So that thrills me. Anything event like the idea of really living life to my adventurous edge thrills me.
Hmm. Okay.
So yeah, so that going safely fast in a car thrills me.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and it doesn't even have to be that big. I went and did cryotherapy yesterday. So the idea of like leading up to that about how cold it would be, like I didn't really know, but the idea of it, like just little things, it don't take much for me. I'm pretty easy.
And maybe that's maybe for me it does take a lot, but maybe the fact that I think that things that just I do and make me excited don't thrill me. But like now that I've had to think about it, like the 5Ks, like that's exciting. Like that's a whole 4 weeks of my life where I'm just like, this is about to happen and that's about to happen. And, oh my God, I
Yeah,
can't wait. Like it's a stupid medal. Like, who cares? Let's get to run a 5K and do a better time. And that brings up a real fear that I have right now. And I posted this on Facebook. Like in the ankle that I broke in high school, uh, I snapped every tendon around my ankle except the Achilles tendon. So they repaired a lot of them. But right now I'm having some tendonitis in my ankle. And it's definitely keeping me from being able to run 3 miles, um, which I'm afraid that I'm not going to be able to complete, which is my goal, my third 5K in March, which is what I really wanted to do and run this 5K. Um, it scares me because I'm really getting into running and I can see a lot of improvements in my posture and the ability and the distance and the speed that I can run. And now I'm at this crossroad where I'm going to have to make a decision to keep training to try to beat my time and be ready for this 5K in March, or am I going to ease up, take care of myself, make sure the tendonitis is done before I go out and run another 5K, which is not, I run 3 miles all the time, but I ran it the other day and it really hurt. And so I'm really scared. I'm really scared because I really want to do this 5K and I'm scared I'm going to miss it. And I
Well,
know
that's
it's
what
not a
happened.
huge thing.
Don't let the devil use you. Because that's what happens. Anytime you have something that you really like that you want to do, a challenge gonna come up as to how bad do you want to do it. Now,
Yep.
I will say don't put yourself out there where you're hurting yourself, but I ran well, I use the word run real
Mhm.
loosely. So
We
I
all
ran
should. I do.
I ran a 5K with you. Thank
Mhm.
you. When was that? 2 weeks ago? Week and a half
Yeah,
ago?
that's the one after the tendonitis showed up.
Okay. And so I say that to say you don't have to run it.
Hmm.
You can I'm using a lot of quotations
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
Uh but I mean I know because I know that you have your goals. So I
Hmm.
understand that. But you can keep the momentum as well. It's not this or that. There's a little gray area. There's an area in
Yeah.
here where you can show up for it and show
Yeah.
up for yourself too.
And I think I'm God, this is so hard because I'm like, I'm so close. I'm like, ooh, I might be close to like knocking like 5 minutes off my time with the training that I've been doing. Um, it's just so hard to like sit there and then get up and then like every time you move or like your ankle pops, you're just like shit. And it's just that decision. It's like, so I told myself the 5K is the 11th of March. I will give myself until the 10th and or I'm gonna say the ninth. Really, maybe even before then, because if I'm done, I need to. Ouch! Sorry, that was my ankle. If I'm done, um,
I'm done.
if I'm done, I need to call it so I can start super rehab. But yeah, so that's where I am. I'm
Okay.
I'm I'm dealing with, and then like the mental thing, like you've been injured before, and just how like you
I'm
can't do
injured
what you
right
do.
now.
Yeah, and it's a tough thing. So
Well,
it's just
I had to after the kids, I had to do a real mental adjustment that okay, I'm not, let's be clear, I'm still an athlete,
hmm.
but I'm not I'm not the athlete I used to be in high school. And like I said, and become okay with not being, yeah, with not being, and just adjusting to what that means for me to be athletic and to be active. And like I said, I do a lot more calmer athletic activities, not all that jumping up and down and bouncing,
Hmm.
because my body just can't handle that anymore. I'm
Yeah.
suffering from a whole situation right now, but like I said, the idea of life thrills me more than I hurt. So I just keep going until I can't go and keep scheduling doctor's appointments. As long as I got that insurance card or not, look, either way, the county hospital is open. I'm gonna keep going until I just can't anymore. Hopefully, but
Look, that's
yeah,
the
I
that's
had
the
to I
part.
had to adjust that. I couldn't run anymore. I remember I used to do Zumba
Yeah.
throughout my whole back trying to compete with this little girl. And like not compete, but I'm competitive. So
Yeah.
in my mind, I was like, she is not about to out pop me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got whole back out. I was
Done.
like, oh man. So that that was a life changing changing event to be like, you can't pop it like that.
Yeah.
At least not without stretching. So
Yeah.
now I
Yeah.
do a little stretch and then I'm still pop it.
Yeah.
But
But not full.
no.
Yeah. See, dog, this. See, I had to switch locations now. You see, I'm sitting down.
Yeah, I
So,
see.
that ankle, the tendon said,
Hey,
I was like, damn it, I can't post up on one leg or nothing, dog. If I
hey,
was a
that's because
flamingo, I'd be
in
dead.
my mind, this 40-year-old mind, it's like on the one hand, you look at yourself and you feel in your mind, you feel still somewhat, you feel youthful, you
Mm-hmm.
know, or your mind thinks you're youthful until I stand up. Because every time I stand up, you saw this, I got to wait, get that hip,
Yeah.
got to get, yeah, I got to wind that hip up
Yeah.
and then go. There's no just stand up and go. It's a stand
Yeah.
up, wind, and then proceed.
Yeah.
But It is what it
Man, I
is.
think I'd be if I wouldn't have broken my ankle, I think I'd be okay. Cause the other one doesn't hurt, but it's the one that I broke, and I'm just like, oh, you son of a.
Well, have you
But
tried cryotherapy?
no, I have not tried cryotherapy. I do know icing, and I'm icing it down every 2 to 3 hours. Um, but I'm just gonna have to give it some rest, and I'm gonna have to get to a point where like I just have a day where I'm just not moving. But that's hard when you're single and you live by yourself and you got dogs to walk. They need to go up and down the stairs. It's like, man, look, I, it's like, Mama, can you come over for a day or two? It's like, man. So I don't know. I see. I don't have a fear of dying alone. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but for moments like this, when you're like, man, I wish there was a day that I could just get up and not move, and just kind of get in a spot and have somebody wait on me hand and foot, which for me, it ain't much, just prevent me from always walking around because I don't sit my ass down for shit in this
Yeah.
house. I'm always walking around.
Yeah. I'm always
So,
looking. Yeah. That look, I think the idea for people who are always moving, like you say you are, that I think we all have that idea that we're gonna sit down one day and somebody gonna wait on us hand and foot. But we wouldn't even allow it to happen because we're gonna be moving around
hmm
anyway. But
I got it.
yeah, I got it. I ain't do it. Yeah.
hmm
But
Yeah.
no, that I think no, those are valid fears. But the basics, the take home of this is we will not let any of our fears stifle our growth.
hmm
And we're gonna keep moving forward. I'm gonna keep being challenged by little cutie patooties to my right
hmm
who won't go to bed. And you think right. She talking about I think that's me. And no, like
She's the best.
look, I'm in the, like I said, I'm in a season of why not?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Hey,
let's go.
I'm telling you the truth. It is that time. And after spending a whole year learning about my fears and going into this year with no fears, yeah, I made some bold statements about what's going to happen for the year. So I don't know. Did I tell everybody on the show about my marriage prediction?
You
No,
ain't
I
tell
didn't.
me that.
I didn't tell you that. Okay. So in December, I made the announcement that I'm getting married this November in the Bahamas.
2023.
Mm-hmm.
Can you move it to October in the Dominican? I'll already be there. No, no, no.
Hey,
Okay.
wait, hold on. I went to the Dominican once. You have to understand. In the
Okay.
Dominican, I'm the mayor out there. Like,
You the man.
my
Okay.
homegirls were like, we were in the hotel and they were just like, after the first day, they were like, "Pa, come here!" Like there was this whole romantic table set up, like it was just for somebody and stuff. Me and my group, we came down. It was like, Puppy, come here," and we were like, "No, that's for the table. No, fuck them. Here, sit." So we had like table with the roses and all kind of stuff. Like, anytime they saw me in the Dominican, I got whatever I wanted. It was like being the Godfather out there. It was great. So
Okay, but no, seriously. So
so
you have
moving to
you wait you. This is a prediction you received from somebody, or just some you not
it's
from some
prediction
a
I've
spiritual
received. It
prediction.
came. It
It
came to
came
me.
to you.
It came on Christmas Day. So Jesus's birthday. It came to me.
Listen.
So yeah. So we'll see. Who knows? My sister
So
says, yeah,
it came to you on Christmas.
yeah, Christmas Day.
Okay, that you were gonna get married in Barbados.
The Bahamas
Oh, Bahamas
in November.
in November.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just
Stay
putting it
tuned.
out there in case it
Okay.
happens. People gonna be like, how'd you know? I'll be like, oh, it just hit me. So I don't know who it's gonna be. Maybe Taylor Swift.
Stranger things have happened. Taylor Swift. That's
It
where
could
we're
be.
going.
I mean,
Okay.
it could be. I don't know. It might be. J-Lo seems to always want to get married every now and then.
She's
So,
taken right now.
well,
So
for now,
okay.
divorce
Well,
courts quick.
there you go.
I think Halle
Well,
Berry is still single.
No, she's dating somebody, isn't she?
Dating ain't married.
There, they married though.
Yep.
You right, dating ain't married.
Yep. I
Okay,
think Sandra Bullock is single too, and she lives in Texas.
well, I'm happy for you. Can I be the flower girl?
Yeah, like I don't need no kid flower girl. We're gonna look, our wedding is gonna be the bomb. Like
Okay.
I'm sure if she wants a kid flower girl, then she gets a flower girl, I get a flower girl.
Well,
Right? So you
we're
just
gonna
push that
see.
little girl down.
Have you okay. No, this is the first I'm hearing of this
Yeah.
prediction. So okay. Well, I'm excited. Should we start throwing a party or what? A bachelor party? What are we doing?
You know, I'm kind of trying to figure that out. If it does happen, it needs to happen after my birthday. So it has to happen after April. So I'm thinking like maybe a bachelor party in like August. Like let's just get that out the way, right? But even if I hadn't met her, like I'd be like, hey babe, I already had my bachelor party. She could be like,
Yeah,
what?
so you good on that.
Yeah, we had t-shirts. Why not get your bachelor party out of the way when you're not even engaged to be married? Like
okay, I thought
that makes sense.
I thought that's what goes down any regular Saturday.
So just another Saturday. All right,
Just
cool.
another Saturday. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Look, I definitely believe in manifesting and praying for what you want. So I'm gonna hit you with a congratulations.
Thank
I
you.
hope the two of you are happy and live a long, loving life together.
I hope so. Is that this ABC song I hear in the background?
It is indeed.
We'll
Let that take us out.
I was just about to say, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you get your X, Y's, and Z's, cross your T's, and dot your I's.
Absolutely. We'll see y'all in a minute.
See you later.
Thanks.